Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video, we are continuing on with watching the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, and we are going to be watching Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warrior, which, of course, I have rocking the shirt for. I actually just got this at Walmart, which is pretty cool, in the men's section. Y'all have, like, the best shirts. But yes, so I am super excited to be watching this one. I have seen this one before, but I think I've only seen it maybe like one time, and it's been a while. I'm really, really excited to watch this one. I kind of looked up on Letterboxd to see kind of what the rankings are, and it has pretty good rankings. It's a general 3.5 out of 5 stars on there, and a lot of the people that I follow rank this one pretty high. So yeah, I'm excited to watch it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll be back with my thoughts.
A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. Freddy's just around the corner.
Okay, so just finished with watching Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warrior, and the reviews for this one, like I said on Letterboxd, were really good, and they are right. This is such a good, I don't know if you refer to it as a sequel. I'm not really sure what the like third film in a franchise would be called if you just continue to call them sequels, but this one really is perfect. Like, it could have been a really good immediate sequel, even though I enjoyed the second one, because we are finding ourselves with Nancy. She is back in this film. She has become a dream psychiatrist, which I think is really cool. We obviously don't really know what happened to her between the years of the events of the first one and now, but seemed to started to kind of get her life together. Hasn't really obviously moved on, because she's here helping this group of teenagers who are all in a psych ward because of dream-related issues. Now, the setting for this one, it's a little, I have the feelings about it. I always feel a little iffy when it comes to having a film set in a psych ward. I feel like you really gotta be sensitive when it comes to dealing with issues of mental health. But this film actually doesn't do a bad job, because the film takes place 6 years after the events of the first one, which would be roughly, I think, around like the early 90s, even though this film only came out 3 years after the original. But with that kind of time frame, 80s, 90s, having these individuals who are all dealing with Freddy, and like we know, or at least we come to know that they're dealing with Freddy, and Nancy knows that. Their parents don't, you know, I think in different circumstances, Nancy in the first one probably would have been sent to somewhere like this. Like, her family starts to think that she's like going crazy, and so it kind of makes sense that you have all of these teenagers who are dealing with something that their parents don't get, which, I mean, what normal teenager isn't, but they're seemingly all kind of like, quote unquote, losing their minds. And so I don't think that they did a horrible job with this topic, especially the 80s, especially given that it came out in the late 80s. There is definitely like mention and suicide, and a lot of the deaths are blamed on that, which is quite sad, but that is something that, you know, does happen sometimes. So I think it was handled well for the film. And those deaths are definitely very intense, very interesting. I absolutely love the puppet scene. It's a pretty well-known scene. I think it's probably definitely like a fan favorite. Obviously that, and of course the television.
This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Everybody knows that part. And I definitely love those scenes, but one thing for me that separates this film is that the characters are so likable. And not that the characters in the other films aren't. I think because of the setting and the situation that these characters are in, I felt like extra sympathetic for them, and like really loved all of these characters. Like there's really not, aside from the doctors, like the actual like victims in this are all so likable that when they die off, it actually like hurts. And I know when it comes to like the Nightmare franchise, it's all about Freddy. Like, we know he's a horrible person, but he really is the center of these films. But for this one, it just, watching these characters be killed off just hurt. And I felt so bad for them and so sad when they were killed off. I also really felt like they stepped it up with the effects in this film. The CGI is amazing. Again, the way the characters are killed off, the dream world that they're in, and the things that happen while they're in there, like that mirror, like towards the end, where they're all kind of in this dream world together and trying to fight Freddy, and that mirror scene was so cool, and they all get like sucked into there. Like, just, this film stepped it up in, I feel like, everything. Effects, storyline, kills, everything just was stepped up in this film, and it was so good. Also love the fact that Patricia Arquette is in this. She is the older sister to David Arquette, who of course plays Dewey in the Scream franchise, so horror royalty in that family. She's also on the show Medium, which was really good, and so she definitely has done other spooky realm stuff, which I think really cool. That kind of runs in the family. Loved seeing her in this. Loved the fact that Nancy is brought back. It's really such an amazing film. So good. So definitely understand the hype around this one. Well deserved. So let me know what your thoughts are on Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. Let me know let me know which one is your favorite. If you have not checked out my other 2 reviews for the first and second films, make sure that you check those out, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button for more horror-related content, and I will see you all again later with another video. Bye!